So it took me a minute and a half to figure out why you guys were ignoring me.
Because
I thought you had muted to go talk to
when
your
I come up to
your
Carlisle,
asshole.
I'll show you how to use your computer and how DV really
Right.
Please remember, the views and opinions expressed by this show or any other show on DV Radio and its guests are strictly those of said individuals and do not reflect those of the DV Radio staff, nor the staff of dysfunctional veterans.
Let's get it started in here. Get this party started on a Saturday night. I'm on the highway to hell all night long.
Cause I got friends in low places where
Play that funky music, white boy.
and I don't wanna miss a thing.
Online and on the go on your mobile device.
Listeners' discretion is advised.
This is Barracks Talk. It's DV Radio.
Google broke the toilet.
But I think I just broke my desk.
Tonight, Google is planning on taking over the world.
You can dip Brussels sprouts in chocolate to make them look like cake pops.
$15 is a little steep for a bag of dicks. It should be like $14.99.
I'm pretty easy to please.
Not even want to touch it as much as I want to.
Are you sure?
And we just went there.
Boom, 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 boom.
Because this is how it is on DV Radio. Yeah, you listen to the podcast there, young man.
You're tuned in to WDVR on DVRadio.net or by searching DV Radio on your TuneIn app on your favorite mobile device.
Because this is how it is on DV Radio.
That is how it is right here on DVRadio.net, WDVR. This is Barrett's Talk. It is February 16th, 2019. I'm Bonerwood. We've got Oink, Google, Recoil, and somewhere out in my yard we got DV6 as well. What was that?
Said I'm here.
Well, I was getting to your fucking ass. So calm your tits. How's everybody doing tonight?
Fantastic.
I'm good.
Alive and kicking.
Google, how are you doing tonight?
I'm good.
She's still muted. She may have walked away.
Or
'cause
she's
the dog
dealing
was
with the dog.
Yeah. So, what's up?
Well, what's up is I'm still in Bo's front yard. I've been on the road now since the 10th of January. That's 21, 31, 37 days now.
Yep, give or take.
Second time I've been in your yard. Been nice. Guys, your family's been treating me nice. Haven't shot at me yet. Made me really feel at home. Where it's to the point now where I just walk in, out. The dogs are awesome. Let me tell you about the dogs. I've got my fill of dogs here. We got 4 or 5 here. Then I drive an hour to Lexington, North Carolina. That's the second time I've done that. PTSDog, JJ, Joaquin Watai. I think I said it right.
Yep.
The author of The Service Dog and PTSD. You can find that on Amazon. Anyhow, I go down there to visit. But, I actually want to see the dog, Skeeter. If you go to the DV6 page, you can see those videos of me and that dog. Oh, it's a beautiful dog. A big dog. It's like a mini horse. Alaskan Malamute. But it was good. What else? But Daisy is a sweetheart. Yogi, Duke, Bandit. Those are all Bo's dogs. He's never alone here. The dogs are like, Bo never takes us anywhere. Well, there's a problem there. You blame the VA. So, what else? Got a lot of shit to talk about tonight between what's going on in the world and then personally my little story with Google's help from the VA and But here's an update for you. Congratulations to the winner. Sorry I forgot your name in the Bachelor Vet contest. She walks away with $1,000. We are damn close. While I'm talking, I'll go look. Damn close in filling our goal for the 1,000 winter survival kits for homeless veterans. Yup, we're only 36 bags short of reaching our goal. 36 bags means we're at 96% of our goal? Does that don't sound right? Does it?
Well, there's only
Whatever.
1,000 bags, so.
Well, so if you're listening, even if this is in podcast, go to mydvstore.com and see if we hit our goal. I hear the farm is doing great. Oh, going back to the bags. So the plan is, when I wrap it up here at Bo's house, I've got other stops along the way. I'm heading north to Alaska. I'm going north. The rush is on. Way up. All right. Going to Virginia, and Fort Meade. There's somebody there. I'm going to try to do that. And then Carlisle, PA. There's Recoil. I'll go say hi to him if it's safe to do so.
Yeah, right. If nothing else, you can always buzz me and I'll meet you over at the Flying J.
No, I thought you were like half owner or something, but whatever. Yeah, no DVs allowed on the property. What are you going to do when he finds out you're like me?
I think he already did.
It's because of me like trying to take his dog for a ride or something. Thinking it was your dog. But anyhow, and then I'll be back in New Hampshire for a short time, and then I'm loading up all those bags, as many as I can fit in the truck and in the trailer, and then I'm going to take a couple days and hit the major cities and get these bags out to these vets that could use them. So, don't forget, thank you everybody for you doing your birthday fundraisers. DV Oink, I'm sorry. Damn. What are you called on the show?
Yeah, DV Oink, you're good.
All right. Hey, your birthday fundraiser is still got what, a week left?
Got a week left, and we are almost there. We're like $600 short, but that's still good. I mean, I'm not going to complain. It all goes to a good cause, so
We'll get it to this goal. But I'm glad that you put it up, and don't be, for those listening, when you do these birthday fundraisers, when you're doing a great thing. The DV Farm doesn't get any federal funding, no state funding. It solely relies off of donations. That's it. And these birthday fundraisers are great. Don't be afraid to make it a big goal. And by big, I mean 1,000, 5,000. I was supposed to do one for 25,000 because we still need a passenger van for the veterans to transport them to appointments and their day trips and stuff like that. So when you do them, don't be afraid. And post them to the DV page. I can't get everybody's up, but I'll do my best. If I put too many up in one day, it offends people. Didn't you just raise $500 yesterday? Oh, yeah, we did. Well, why are you doing it now? Oh, because that $500, believe it or not, it's not going to get us through the year. It costs tens of thousands of dollars to run the program. Well, how did you do it this far? Well, we got a thing called the DV store. I mean, I'm tapped. So, but Google, my wife, is going to teach herself how to write grants. And whenever she puts her mind to something, she usually accomplishes it. So hopefully by this year, the end of this year, we'll be set up and maybe start receiving money. As long as the grants don't require us to change the fundamental principles of what we're trying to do out there, we'll do it. The barn is going great, or it's going to get going great here soon. With me gone, they've been short-handed, but they're supposedly going to be buying the lumber soon, and that is their project for the winter months. So we'll keep you posted on that. But anyhow, is that about it, Bo?
Sounds good. Sounds good.
I want to tell everybody a little story. But first
About a man named Jed?
No. And actually, I've been on the DV page. I put a teaser up, everybody. And some of the comments, the information I'm getting is not good. This is concerning the VA and vets and their pain meds. How many on the show here, out of my hosts, I know myself, well, maybe we don't want to disclose that, but there's a good percentage of vets that, are dealing with chronic pain within the organization too. I myself, I've been dealing with it for years. And that might have been, I've never talked about this, but since I've addressed the pain and the chronic pain and gotten help for that, that was about the same time that I ended up creating a business, taking in a family member for 2 years, doing all kinds of stuff that is not, I don't even know how to say, wouldn't have been done back in the old days. And when you're not in pain, it's amazing what you can accomplish. Because when you're in pain chronically all day and into the night, you don't sleep, it saps your energy, right? Well, we've talked about that, right? Saps your energy.
Yeah, we've talked about that extensively.
It wears you down.
Yeah, it exhausts you to no fucking end.
Right? Everybody can agree to that. I really do need Google for this. So, as soon as she gets back from whatever she's doing.
She did say
But
she was
anyhow,
back.
let me give some background on me.
Okay.
Okay.
I had to let the dog out, and if you paid attention to chat.
Okay. But can you fix it so that I can hear you?
No. I haven't changed anything on any of my settings.
All right. Well, I can hear you now. As long as that comes out normal on the show, then when we're good. That's all I care about.
So you're saying I need to be yelling into my mic.
Well, if I can't hear you, this will make it difficult. So. All right, I heard that. Well, anyhow, I'll give some Google. I'll give some background on myself. All right, so that when we do discuss what happened at the VA, it'll make sense. So for those who are listening and don't know my story, when I was, after I got out of the service, my life spiraled out of control to the point that I ended up, from little brief visits to jail to county to being incarcerated in state prison a couple of times. And then I ended up on the street. And it all stemmed from drinking and drugging and just basically suicidal, homicidal on life. And I had a drug habit. I don't even know if it was a habit, because now I don't have the desire to drink. I'm not a teetotaler. I thought I was an alcoholic. I'm not. If I want to drink, I'll drink, but I very rarely feel like drinking. Now that I'm not in pain, now that I've gotten other things fixed, my life is kind of normal. But all those years that I was in, I never was in pain, was probably due to the massive amount of drinking and drugs I was doing. And when I came off of it, all the problems I had been ignoring came home to roost. And as I went to the VA to get help for all these individual problems, the pain wasn't going away. Google can testify to the fact that I'd walk around cussing, screaming, not screaming. The amount of pain I was in, right, Google?
Yes.
Blackouts from the pain while driving. It was so bad. It was so bad. And at one point, not my regular doc, I was at one of the VAs in Massachusetts, gave me oxycodone. Oxycodone, not Oxycontin, oxycodone. And I was fine. And I went to go renew it, and I got a different doc. And it was just a temporary script. And that doc was like, I don't believe in narc. This was, how long ago was this? This was when we first, early in our relationship. So I was going to say about 8 years ago. 7.
Yep. It's been a while.
That was a long time ago. But anyhow, I had to drive 2 hours to this VA, hour and a half in Massachusetts. And I get there now. I got a different doc. I want to play games with the meds, and no. So, and in the end, she says, "How about this? I'll give you a non-narcotic. Try that. If it works, good. If it doesn't, then I'll give you your script that is owed to you, and you can go to what you were taking." I says, "Okay." So for now, I'm all happy. I go get coffee. I go to the pharmacy window. Yeah, my name's called. Here you go. Here are your meds. I go, yeah, there's another one too. No, there's just this. No, there's another one. Sir, the doc only put in one script. Oh, I know what's going on. She lied to me. Anyhow, I got escorted off by the cops, the VA police that day. That's a whole nother story too. They were really cool. But anyhow, it took me, I think, going to every VA in Massachusetts, and then, well, because I lived in Mass, and then I found the VA in Vermont, which I go to now, to agree to give me pain meds. And I've been on them for years. Never had a problem, never tested hot. You know, if you have a job, you can understand with pain meds, you just can't, you can have them delivered by mail, but the problem with having them delivered by mail when you run out is you can't renew them until the day before, and it takes 2 weeks to get delivered. So you end up having to take a whole day off from work to drive to the VA to pick up your meds. That's what I've been doing for the last several years. But I don't bitch because it's just the VA. I'm lucky to be on them, I guess. I should be thankful that I have government-run health care, and it's a blessing. Well, my doc, the doc I had, went to the women's clinic. She handpicked my next doctor, which he just retired after 30 years. And I got put in the pool, and I got a new doctor. Now we're almost up to the part. This new doctor... Now, you've heard me on DV Radio talk about how great the VA I go to. I tout it as one of the best in the country. And for the most part, it is. And how fast that can change because of one doctor. I finally met my new doctor a couple months ago. She's a civilian. She came from a civilian hospital, first time coming to VA because she wanted to be closer to her family. But, her caseload that she's used to, I think, used to be 50 patients. The VA gives you 300. I says, I'm easy. You know, everything's kind of in remission right now. I'm not, I deal with all the crap. I only come if it's an emergency. Well, I'm easy. I'll get you in and out, and you'll be caught up on all your appointments. Well, I thought she was a nice lady. Well, she's one of those paranoid freaks. Last thing I need to be accused of, I run a drug and alcohol program. I run a company. I've gone from homeless to this. I've been impeccable. I make my appointments. Never had no bullshit with the meds. Like some people that do all kinds of crazy shit, from calling the cops and say, getting a police report so they can get another script, to all kinds of stuff. Nothing like that. I've never had any problems. Been on it for years. There's nothing in my file. So Google... I had to get an early fill to go on the road. No problem. The doc goes, I'll fill it up for you now, but you're going to have to make it last. I says, yeah, I still have my old meds. I mean, I take what I'm supposed to every day. So I got an early refill. Well, that was 5 weeks ago. So Monday, I call my VA. I always call on a Monday because I have to renew them on a Tuesday every 28 days. And you have to call the VA. And it's a Monday. That's fun. So this is my life every 28 days, calling the VA on a Monday. Strike one. Right? I try to stay patient, and I do. I get different operators all the time. What healthcare, which VA do you get your meds from? Here. I go, okay. What's the name of the med? And I tell them. Or no, first you have to submit a blood sample, prove who you are, social security number, date of birth, full legal name. You guys know the hoops. So, and I do all that. You finally get to the med. What's the medicine? What's he go down? I'm going to have to transfer you. I'm sorry. No, I know. This is what we go through. Then if you don't get lost when they transfer you and get hung up on, you make it to your VA. And then you got to start the whole process over again. But anyhow, so that usually happens, no problem. But this time I said, look, I was wondering if you could fill it a day early because my wife is a vet and she's up there, and then she can mail them out to me the next day. Well, I don't think so. It says in your chart you've already got an early refill, so it doesn't show you need them until such and such a date. I go, well, that date's wrong, obviously, and no, they're due today. So, well, it doesn't matter because your doc's not here today. But I doubt she would have done it anyhow. I says, okay, so I'll call back tomorrow. That's how this started. So, Google.
So I get to the VA. And I'm kind of running behind, I mean, I'm not a morning person. So anyway, so I get to the VA just after 1300. That's 1 p.m. for those of you that don't know what 1300 is. And I went in and I went straight up to the pharmacy because the meds should have been ready. Nope. His name is not on the board. So I go downstairs and I go to talk to his doc. And she's a fucking bitch.
Wait,
Oh,
don't paint. Yeah.
But.
Yeah.
So I go to talk to her, and she's like, well, he refilled it 3 days early, so he's not due until Thursday, the 15th. And I'm like,
that doesn't even make sense.
Well, that's weird. So I pull out my phone. I'm like, if you're telling me that he filled it 3 days early, then he filled it on a Saturday when the VA is closed, and he filled it 2 days after he left to go out of state on business. And Thursday is the 14th. Not the 15th. And she's like, well, I wrote in his chart, that he filled it and he's 3 days early, so he's not due until the 15th. But I'll fill it early if he wants me to. I'll just make a note in his chart never to do that again. I'm like, okay, that's fine. She's like, okay, I'll take care of that. 30 minutes go by. I go back up to the pharmacy. No meds yet. I go up to the window just to make sure. Nope, she didn't put it in. I go back downstairs. I talk to her again. She goes, oh, did you want to pick it up today? No, lady, I'm just
wait.
Give you
Stop.
a hard time.
Listen, for everybody listening, Martha at no time, see, this is what I don't want you to do, hon. Listen, at no time was she rude. She's embellishing right now. She was as polite.
I was very nice to her.
Everybody was extremely, get this right, because this is, this is going, it's being recorded, and God help us if anybody gets hurt. Sounds like you were being a bitch, and you weren't.
No, I wasn't.
Martha been a bitch, she would have been thrown off the hospital grounds in a heartbeat. We both know, Martha and I both know that. So you kept your cool. That's one of the things I'm proud of you at, because I don't think I could have done it.
Well, she asked me, she goes, did you want to pick it up today? I'm like, yes. I said, but also, I can show you. I had him send me a photo of his medication bottles. And she's like, I'm not gonna talk to you about this any further. I'm just gonna mark it in his chart that he is never, ever, 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 ever allowed to get an early refill ever again.
Hold on right there. So while this is going on, all right, I'm out of meds. All right, my meds ran out the day before, so I got them on that Tuesday. So, and oh God, so when Martha told me that there was no script no order at the pharmacy, I'm like, and she told me that they're doubting that it's even due. Both myself and my wife, Martha, were like, this is a real easy problem to fix. She's a doctor. All she has to do is pull up the pharmacy records, count 28 days on a friggin' calendar. But yet, this is what I said in the post. Have you ever been treated badly or like a criminal or like an addict? That's how I felt. I had to send my wife pictures of my med bottles of the last couple months. Luckily, I keep those because it's like evidence in a court trial.
You know what's funny? She told me that she had done extensive research the night before on Monday night to make sure that she was correct in what day they needed to be refilled. So okay, so fine. I talk to her again and I go back up to the pharmacy and I let them know and they're like, I give it another 30 minutes. Meanwhile,
how was the pharmacy treating you?
The pharmacy was phenomenal. But meanwhile, Storm is in the car. All right. And now it's starting to snow because we were getting a snowstorm on top of all of this. So I go outside, I get Storm, we go back inside. He doesn't really do elevators. So we go up the stairs and, we're back at the pharmacy and it's like another 30 minutes or so has passed. Right. So by this time we're looking like 3:30. And there's still no
Here, I got the text.
And so, yeah, I do too. So I talked to the guy at the pharmacy at the desk, and he's like, "No, it's still not in there. Let me do some research on this." And I told him, I said, I mean, they're due today, but she's just not filling them. So he tries to get a hold of the doctor. She's not responding. So I go back downstairs and I ask at the desk to have the doc call the pharmacy. And when she does, she threw a hissy fit at the guy that was at the desk at the pharmacy and hung up on him when he tried to explain to her that it was due to be refilled as opposed to not being due for several more days. And he's like, he even told me, he's like, it's not rocket science. You look at the dates and you count to 4 twice. I'm like, I know. It's not complicated. So then he gets one of the pharmacists involved. He tries to explain it to her. She's not hearing it. They sent down another pharmacist, a different one, to physically go and talk to her. And it was like,
Now,
she acted like there was this big giant conspiracy theory that we all wanted it to be filled that day, but she's the only one that knew that it wasn't due for another 3 days. I'm like, this isn't.
And meanwhile, you're texting me this, and I feel powerless because I'm not there. There's nothing I can do. If it hadn't been my regular doc, this wouldn't have happened. But normally, every 28 days, when I have to call the pharmacy or refill these things, especially with a new doc now, I'm not a pussy or nothing. Okay, and I am, like, even with the pain, the worst that'll happen is I'll end up being in bed all day if I don't get these meds. I'm not going to die. Well, they say I can because I've been on them, if you've been on them for years. But right. The shit that, and I know I am not the only one out there going through this. But yet, if somebody like me, or my wife, or whatever, I run a nonprofit. I own a company, this and that. There's nothing in my notes. What about the average vet going there that doesn't have all that must go through? And then she's going to write a note that I'm drug seeking in my file?
Yep. Well, she didn't say you were drug seeking. She just said you're never, ever, 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 ever allowed to refill it ever again.
It's insane. But the thing is, here's my wife. Now, let's change it a little. You work a regular job, and it's like you're on meds, and it's like, hey boss, it's that today's the day I have to go to the VA to pick up my meds. Or no, for Google, she's got a regular job. So her appointment's that day. Go ahead, take it. How much time do you need? Well, they're pretty good about getting me in, so I can work half a day, but I won't make it back because that's just the VA. Okay, go ahead, no problem. So she goes, does her appointment. At the same time, tries to get my meds. She can't. So now she has to go back to her boss on Tuesday and go, yeah, look, I know I took half a day yesterday, but I have to go pick up meds at the pharmacy. This should be really quick. And I only need, it's an hour drive. Just give me 2 hours. And she loses a whole day. What employer will deal with that shit? If you were just a regular vet. Because when she got there at noon, she didn't get out of there until 5 o'clock. And then she had to drive an hour back, but it took her 2.5 because there was a fucking major snowstorm going on. Thank you, new doctor.
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
So,
I mean, even I brought Storm inside. I took a picture of him sleeping on the floor.
Listen. So in the end,
even Storm is getting annoyed.
Okay, fuck the dog for a minute. Listen, in the end, you were up there for 5.5 hours.
Yeah.
All right, and she waited to the last second, right when the pharmacy was closed, and to finally drop it, even after everybody presented all the facts. And again, all the doctor had to do was look at the pharmacy records. Okay? If you can't manage prescriptions for your patients and stuff, and I know you have to follow guidelines, but you're going to, out of spite, I think it's time for me to change my doc. I'm glad you made it home safe.
It
but
took me 3 hours just to get home because of the fucking snowstorm.
But, one of the things I said on the post on the page, one of the things I learned, and I'm hearing, and I want to hear from you guys, If you're listening to this in podcast, tell us on the main page what your experiences are. Some of the things I'm learning, I don't know. I'm going to do some research on this, but I put, on the post, I had said, hey, tune in tonight on DV Radio, the VA, the good, the bad, and the bullshit they sometimes put veterans through. Well, in Michigan, hold on. All right, last time Michael Wall said last time he checked in Wichita, the only way you get pain meds now is you have to have terminal cancer or surgery. But somebody also said in Michigan, all over Michigan and northern Indiana, they cut everyone off of pain meds except cancer patients. Is this true? Has anybody here heard that? And I believe it, because Recoil, you've been a mod for a long time on the page. Remember when we were hearing people were reaching out for help, the vets, they'd been on pain meds for years, and just like that, they decided, you know what, we're not giving out pain meds, we're cutting you off, and people were ending up getting sick and getting hospitalized.
Yeah, I mean, it's happening a lot, and it's happening all over the country, because it's a good thing that they're trying to get away from narcotic pain medications and addictive pain medications, but they're not doing it the right way. They're just like instantly, hey, you're no longer able to get this.
I have two things, and I want your feedback. My personal opinion. It's the same thing with guns. It's the same thing with anything in this country or with the public at large. People do something bad with whatever product A. Well, you gotta ban it. Now, these pain meds have allowed millions, I don't know, we'll say hundreds of thousands of people, maybe millions, to have a normal life. They don't make the news. Of course somebody's going to abuse it. Of course there's going to be death. So your option is to just ban it for everybody. Fuck the people that do everything right, and have a productive life, And then the other one I have a problem with, and this is personal experience now. I've seen this. I've heard on the news, and I've heard from personal stories from people that, you've heard that doctors prescribe painkillers very easily to everybody now, right? Oh, you got this. I didn't believe that until I had a resident who his background is, meds and stuff, painkillers and stuff. And he goes to a civilian hospital as opposed to the VA. And every time he goes to the hospital, it doesn't matter what it is, he comes out and says, hey, Mike, they offered me painkillers and I turned them down. I'm like, yeah, you damn right you did, because you can't have them out there unless you're going into surgery or it's a case-by-case basis. They're like, yeah. But the icing on the cake was, said individual went to the hospital last year for a fucking cough. Every time he goes there, they offer him stuff. But he's been hurt, this and that. He goes for a fucking cough. Hey, Mike, he gets out to try. How'd you do? Oh, well, I got a sore throat, but they offered me painkillers. What? I turned it down. Are you fucking kidding me? Really? Yeah. Oh my fucking God. Every time this kid goes, they offer him fucking painkillers. Every fucking time. But that's them. But for people that are on it, like you said, they're not handling it right. In the VA, one of the things I hear at the VA when they get into I don't believe in narcotics or painkillers or whatever. I know you've been on them for years, but I'm taking you up. And that's not how this works. It's frustrating. It really is. My old doc, we would talk and stuff more than we would, like, because I had a problem, because I was like, all right, this is your problem, all right, you're fixed. I was like, well, that was 5 minutes. You got half an hour to take a break and shoot the shit before your next patient. But we would talk about these damn things, and he goes, you know why they work? It's because it's a narcotic. I go, yeah, but it works. He goes, yeah, but it's a narcotic. Yeah, but it works. I was like, look, the way I best explained it to him was, you can trace everything back where my life changed, where the DV started, the farm, everything, when I got my life back. Not the drugs and alcohol, because I was still battling. I couldn't function. I couldn't move certain days. Extreme pain, blacking out. It was bad. And once I got that beast off of me, I could start thinking again. Yes, I got head injuries and I babble and I fuck up words and shit like that, but I am able to have a normal day now. Oh, well, you know what I mean? Even Bo sees me from time to time fucking struggling, but for the most part, I have more good days than bad days. That makes sense to everybody.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
So now that, all right, that was a horror story. And then the reason why I'm telling everybody this is, one, they put her through hell, my wife, who is also a fellow veteran, over bullshit. All right? And the whole day. And God forbid if she had gotten in an accident going home. There was no reason for that. Had she had every right to be upset, but had she lost her cool, and this is why I've dubbed it a teachable moment for my vets in the program. What do you do if that was you in that situation? All right? Whole 5 hours of being jerked around? If she had flipped the fuck out and started cussing her, I mean, other people's thresholds are a lot shorter. Had that been one of my vets at the farm, I would have been in agreement. But did you win the argument or none? You're the one they escorted off, and that's all it would have taken if you started cussing or got angry. What does the average vet do? What if the vet wasn't like Martha or I? What if he was just coming in off the street and just only had his life together for the last 30, 40 days? You're scamming and this and that. I've been accused of selling my meds. I've been accused of abusing them, faking. It's insane. But hey, let's give free government health care to everybody, right?
Would you like to go to a break and continue this on the other side?
I'm fired up.
Okay.
If you got any questions or you don't understand something, put it in chat, all right, or tell us your experience if you're a VA.
Yeah. Yep. And on the other side of the break, I guess we'll continue some discussion about this right here on Barracks Talk on dvradio.net.
DV Radio.
Are you looking for veteran resources and peer support? Objective Zero has an app for that. Download the Objective Zero app for free from the App Store or Google Play. Access wellness resources like yoga and a free year subscription to Headspace, the world's most popular meditation app. Check out veterans resources and access our nationwide network of peer support. Speak to fellow women veterans or someone in your field and branch of service. You get to choose who you want to chat with. Learn more at www.objectivezero.org. That's www.objectivezero.org.
You're listening to WDVR, only on dvradio.net.
Yes, you are listening to WDVR, dvradio.net. This is Barracks Talk. You're probably listening to us on podcast, or you're live in the chat room and listening to us on TuneIn or what other apps out there have us, because there's so many. Anyway, before we go back into what we were talking about before the break, Antipsychotic as well as Oink and a few others have mentioned in chat that Snafu's having a rough time. So if you could, please send your good juju, lucky rabbit's feet, and your underwear and stuff to him, if you can, just to get him up.
It's good you brought that up, but I have to point out an obvious fact. He's having a rough time, so basically situation normal, all fucked up?
Yep.
What the hell, Snafu? Well, you got the appropriate call sign.
Right. But yeah, if you could,
doing my best here. I'm not a funny man.
If you could send your thoughts and prayers and juju or whatever you do to Snafu. He is listening in tonight. He just can't get on chat because of his Wi-Fi. But we finished on the first half of the break that talking about screw-ups and mishaps and stuff like that at the VA, and DB6 gave you his story that he had at the beginning of this week, which was pretty atrocious, to say the least. I mean, like he said, he was stuck here in North Carolina, and Google was up in New Hampshire having to deal with it.
And I gotta say, thank you for your help too and advice. That's, the operative word, Bo. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because had I not been here, you did offer a good, valuable insight and all that. That's the operative word. I appreciate it,
Right, yeah, anytime. We brought up, what if this had been a vet that had troubles going on more than what you have going on, Do you want to go into that?
Look, there's not too many times where I use my soapbox for stuff like this. We talk about the politics and all that, but what I'd really like to see is stuff that needs fixing. It's always the stupid shit in this country that supposedly looks like it takes up 100% of our elected officials' time. There's a lot of work that needs to be done with the VA, with our roads, with fucking taxes and stuff. This is the shit. Little stuff like this. But because of a vet, you can multiply it by tens of thousands. There's a lot of veterans and probably civilians too, because, people are abusing. So, we got to get rid of it. And the docs overprescribed it. But let's not take a look at the other side of the coin, with that same logic. People are dying with these new mechanical Flintstone machines. And, oh my God, they're driving drunk. That's it. No more. Don't give out any more car licenses and shit. I mean, really? How many people benefit from that? And again, there would be no DV. There would be no farm for homeless vets. All the work that, that has been through this page and all, wouldn't be. Somebody else might do it, but there would be no dysfunctional veterans. I don't even think I'd be alive, because I was pumping massive amounts of shit through my body, and I didn't give a fuck when you're in pain. So I'd like to see the data, how many people are on them. They're prescribing a shit ton of meds, but how many out there don't cause any problems? How many old people are out? You get old. Us military people, especially us fucking grunts. Now I'm getting angry and I didn't want to. I've been in pain since I got out of the service, and I was in my 20s, and it just progressively got worse. I have a high threshold for pain. So by the time I'm complaining about it, the average person would be in tears. And I'm sure that goes for the vast majority of you all. I've had Bedlam come out to visit the property. I think she's one that's always hurt. Bo is in fucking pain. Google's getting there. I mean, there are things the military does to you that the average person doesn't, but we don't, they don't understand. When you're talking to a civilian doctor and you tell them in pain, by the time we get there to tell you we're in pain, I'm sure it's a little bit, you know what I'm trying to say, as far as the pain and when you bitch about it.
Yeah.
You treat it as normal. It's like my doc saw me one day. It wasn't my appointment. He come out to grab somebody, and I'm dragging my leg through the hallway. All right? He's like, oh, my God. Oh, are you all right? I started laughing. I'm like, yeah. He's like, you never do that. I said, every time. He's like, he'd never seen that. I said, that's because every time I have an appointment with you, it's always like once every 3 months or something. My luck is I'm having a good day. But this happens, really... You're that bad? Yeah, I told you. It gets bad, Doc. No, I'm making you an appointment. I'm like, all right. Okay. It'll probably be fine by that day.
Yeah, it doesn't help when, you spend, how many years in and 90% of the time they tell you to, suck it up, buttercup, and carry on. They don't want you to go see a doctor because that could, count as downtime. So there's that hysteria or whatever you want to call it of telling vets to suck it up. So we get used to sucking it up, and then, we put it off for so long until we have to go to the doc.
To add on to what Oink said, that's what they told me to do in Iraq, and it ended badly for me because I'm in the position I am now. They were telling me, here, take this Imodium, it's depression, it's stress, it's homesickness, and just suck it up. So, of course, when you get home, so, of course, when I got home, I was like, fuck it, that's what it was. And then I get told at one of the local hospitals after it had went on for like 8 months longer, it was a 24-hour bug. So they told me I had a 24-hour bug for a year and a half. One told me it was just, homesickness, and it literally almost killed me. That's when I got it diagnosed, and that was why. Because they were like, suck it up, keep going.
Again, absolutely, it's in your head, and this and that. There are times when I'm lucky to be married. I'm lucky that I have Google, aka Martha, because we both look out for each other. There are times when, to go to the VA, and it's gotten better. I don't know about, not all VAs are like ours. Like I said, I think we're going to one of the best in the country. But even then, to make an appointment, to drive, it's not like driving to your local grocery store for most people when they go to a hospital. The VAs for everybody are usually not around the corner. For us, we have to drive to another state. And I have to go, look, it's pretty bad. Maybe you should go. Oh, I'll suck it up. And I'll push her to go, and she'll do the same for me.
I only go if I absolutely have to.
Right, and that day you made me proud. But my thing is, like you said at the beginning, the regular vet. I just somebody that doesn't have, just a regular person, works his job, does everything he's supposed to do, and then gets in there and gets treated like that, and they don't have no recourse. They don't have the soapbox or whatever, and they got to fight it on their own. What do? Well, one, you need to keep you cool, because I've played that route with getting escorted by the VA police. They win, you lose. But there are things.
Call your wife to come pick your ass up.
Martha kept her cool. I couldn't get any work done that day. We had just sat down to do some work, and I said, the only thing I'll fuck it up is if the VA jerks Martha around. And they did. And I'm not the only one. Now I find out through the grapevine, through Martha, through the pharmacy, that she's done this to another vet.
Yeah. Oh, she's done it. This isn't the first time it's happened with her. She's not the most polite when it comes to the pharmacy.
I think she's in over her head at the VA, going from a civilian hospital to, even though this VA is good, but the caseload's too much. I don't know.
I agree. She's in over, and she doesn't understand. She does. There are so many patients that she now sees all of a sudden. But the pharmacy was like, thank you so much for being so patient. Like, it was like, well, there's no point in ripping your head off, because
right, and that's the thing.
It's not your fault. But if I went, and they know that if I gone after the doc, then I wouldn't be able to get the meds because I would have been escorted off the property.
This is, there's things that need fixing.
Yeah.
In this country. And, I don't know. Shot my load, but.
Government ran healthcare will fix it all.
Yeah. Again, though, I go through mini panic attacks, anxiety every 28 days when I gotta go in there and they question me, interrogate me on, how many meds you got left, and we can test your levels. I'm like, fine. Why did you run out? Well, sometimes I drop. I've come up short this month. It's supposed to last me till the end of Monday. I'm going to tell you right now. I only had 2 left because some days are worse than others. But I made it to Monday, and we're going to test your levels. I said, you can't. You can tell me that all you want, lady, unless you take a hair sample. But I know the shelf life of the meds. I run a program. I have to do drug tests myself. It has a life of 6 hours or something. Your system. So, but it's just the games. Like even with the very first doc I ever had when I switched up there, and she was the only one that listened to me. And we signed an agreement that I will not give my meds away. I won't sell them. I'll be drug tested. Do you agree to this, this, and this? Anal cavity search, blah, blah, blah. I'm exaggerating. But, you have to sign this agreement. And I did. Well, I didn't know, it was the first time ever doing this, that when they give you a drug test, they're testing to see if the meds are in your system, right? I thought they were testing me for everything else. Back then, years ago, I was only I'm on, even now, all the docs have told me, I'm on an extremely low dose. Okay. And even then, it was even lower all these years when I first started. And the way I did was I would, I needed them some days and I didn't. But I never needed one first thing in the morning. My appointments were at 9 o'clock, 8 o'clock in the morning. So I hadn't taken one. And we go in. She goes, I want a urine. I go, okay. So for the first 3 months, I had to see her every month. And on that third month I went in, she goes, oh, I want you right now to go take a urine. And I'm going to tell you right now, Mr. Rivers, that if the drugs don't show up in your system, I'm cutting you off. I'm like, whoa, whoa, whoa. She's all like Jekyll and Hyde on me now. I'm like, whoa, what's going on? She said, listen, I've been in the VA 20 years. I know the fucking game. I'm like, whoa, 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 calm down. What am I don't know what you're doing. What if you're selling them or what? I'm like, whoa, 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 what the fuck now, lady? So now we're screaming at each other. There's a knock. And she's like, what? VA police, everything okay? Yeah, we're both, yeah, we're okay. This is how we talk. I'm like, are you fucking high yourself? I don't take them until they have, I don't care. If it doesn't show up, I'm pulling you off of it. Are you fucking kidding me? Why didn't you tell me that? Thank God I took one this morning. Today I'm having a bad day. It'll be in my system. But that's what I went through. So that happened right after I started, and I learned. So always make sure you take one before your appointment. And what happened was, you remember this, Martha? I didn't refill them every month like I'm supposed to because I still had some left. I didn't have to refill them on 20 days. I get a phone call from her. If you don't start renewing your meds, I'm going to discontinue them. Because if you're selling them or whatever, I'm like, oh, I don't need any. Then I'm taking you, all right, I'll come up. I'll renew them every month like I'm supposed to, I guess. All right. So now, after a couple months of renewing them on time, I get another phone call. I don't know what the fuck you're doing. Why are you renewing them every month? You told me to! What the fuck? Remember that?
I remember.
I'm like, damned if you do, damned if you don't. And now I got, then my doc that I had for years just retired, and I'm going through the shit again. My point is, every 28 days, imagine if you have a job, you have to take off, and I love it when they say, why don't you just have them mailed to you? I said, because you can't renew them until the day before, and if they mail them, it takes 7 to 10 business days. Yeah. And my luck would be on the 10th day. So I have to take time out of work and drive an hour each way. And for some people, so you lose a whole bit, you lose half a day there. And if you're, somebody else has to go further, you lose a whole day. I mean, how do well, maybe you should try pot. I can't do pot, Maybe you should try non-narcotic. We've tried other stuff, okay? Like I said, I believe in whatever works for everybody if you don't abuse it and you can function. Some people, CBD oil is good. Other people, tramadol. Other people, whatever, But, hey, all I know is I wouldn't be where I'm at today if I was back in the condition I was 8-9 years ago. I wouldn't have met Bo, Recoil. My wife probably would have never married me. You're just one miserable son of a bitch.
You remember when you asked me what I'd be doing today if I hadn't gotten sick, and I told you I'd probably never had met you because I never got on the computer back then. I was one of those that had to get up and go. If I'd never gotten sick, we never would have met, none of us.
Well, I'm going to let you guys in on a secret. Like, we have meetings and we discuss new t-shirt ideas and stuff. One of them that was proposed was a shirt, veteran related shirt. And it says, I did it for the free health care. I did, or something like that. I go, oh my God, we could do so much. I did it for the free meal on Veterans Day.
I swear.
Somebody proposed, I had to shoot it down because of the language, but if it could be turned a different way, was some vets have tits.
Some vets have breasticles.
Yeah, that's what I said too. I'm like, I can't do that. It's like, you know, people want us to make the shirt, leave me the fuck alone. I'm not going to do it because, you know, I can't have these 17, 18-year-old young military people wearing profanity. That's not right.
Oh, God.
That's like cussing in front of your mom.
But you can say fuck cancer. That's okay.
That's a good point. That's a good point. So, all right. So the horse is dead. Pain meds won't work on him now, so fuck it. If we were a communist country, we'd eat them. But anyhow, real quick, change the subject. I was talking to PTSDog today, and it reminded me that next time that we come down here with the whole clan, you know, with the animals and my wife, Google, and stuff, we tentatively have a loose idea that we're going to have a big get-together here in Low Gap, North Carolina, right? At your place?
Yeah, we can tell them my address if you'd like.
Really? Okay. 9. You're an ass.
I mean, you might as well. You keep getting closer and closer every show to tell them exactly
then they
where I'm
have to
at.
listen to all those podcasts, put each number together. So, but you could use the company, you know?
I don't like all these people.
I was
They
going
don't
to
come.
does that mean that he wants the company?
Exactly.
Well, we're going to have a big shing-ding barbecue, whatever, event here and invite everybody, right?
Not at my house to invite every fucking body. That's for special people.
If we invite everybody, then maybe somebody will come.
No, because if they
If
get
we
invited
invite
to my
everybody,
house,
then everybody will show up. Ooh, I get to see
Yeah.
where
But
both
if we go somewhere
exactly,
else and
they'll
get
be
a
like,
venue,
no, they'll want to see the cripple guy. It's like a freak show. They'll want to see a fucking cripple guy,
Right.
and they're all going to show up. That's my point.
all right, we'll talk after the show.
Oh my god.
All right, we'll talk tomorrow because I'll be asleep, obviously.
Jesus Christ.
I thought you were driving tomorrow.
Yeah, my computer's over at Bo's house.
All right, I'll see you next year.
Sorry.
I'm starting Monday. That was the new plan. I thought, you weren't around today, yesterday.
What are you talking about? I wasn't around today.
You were at the VA. No, that was
That was
Today's
Tuesday.
fucking
I've been
Saturday.
home all day. I have a cell phone. You know this. You can send me a text message.
What's the
Yeah, we
text
both
message you speak of?
My goodness.
All right, moving right along. How about them Girl Scouts? How about those Boy Scouts that are girls that created a girl-only Boy Scout troop so it can just be girls? Is that in the news tonight?
Oh, no, because I didn't know about it until I saw the post on the DV page. But hold on. I did comment with my DV Google page with a link to a story from Arkansas. And there, they now also have an all-girls Boy Scout troop. They were sworn in just a few days ago. So there you have it. So
Right.
Ohio and Arkansas want to be special.
Arkansas.
Well, yeah, all they did was put AR in front of Kansas.
I knew
They're
what
gonna
you
have
were
to
talking
ban it.
about. Just I've never heard anybody say that.
I mean, they couldn't even be original with a state name. They took Kansas and added AR in front.
That's the government for you.
Arkham.
My God, no one ever considered this.
So, what's the status on your VA room?
I'm still waiting to hear if the check has showed up yet or not, so we can get
Checks
all
in the
that.
mail. Ah!
Yeah. That's how it always is. It was supposed to be here this past week, but I'm guessing with all the winter weather that everybody's had and all the bullshit that's been happening, that wouldn't surprise me if that slowed it down. So, but hopefully, right? I'm gonna call Monday my contractor and see if he's heard anything yet, because the guy at the VA, that's through the VA. He's real busy, and we play phone tag up until like 5 o'clock in the evening, so it's better that I call my contractor. But yeah, I'll let you guys know next Saturday. Well, you all will know before that. People listening won't know until next Saturday.
Yeah.
Well, oh, that's not what we're talking about. Never mind. Carry on.
Carry on my wayward son.
So if I let myself not go, all right, let me start over.
I was about to say, be very careful with the next words that come out of your mouth.
I've been screwing up. I gotta wrap some things up. I still haven't eaten. I'm still awake, but I need to mute and go to the kitchen.
Okay.
So you guys got this? Is that good? I did good. It's 10-10 right now.
Yeah.
I'm so proud of you.
Thank you. I miss you.
Okay, you two can have pillow talk after the show.
And I guess, I can't say that here. I'll be embarrassed.
I don't do PDA.
That's all right. Bo said moist the other day in his house.
Yeah.
I fell off my chair. He just said a sentence.
And Six was about to send it to you, and that's actually when we got the text from you about the VA.
Oh, that's right. And everything went from being we were having a good day to here we fucking go.
Yep.
We fucking go.
No joke. I said that. He goes, I'm going to text Martha and tell her all about it. He gets up to go get his cigarettes, comes back and sits down, and sure enough, the phone starts going off, and I was like, damn it.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, it wasn't you. I mean, I really am proud. I don't know. I told Bo, I don't know if would have been able to stay calm like you did, like you're supposed to.
Yeah, we actually made jokes.
I was gonna go downstairs and rip her fucking head off. But
we actually made a joke when my mom came. We actually made a joke when my mom came in that she needed to go get bail money and have it on standby for you.
Well, I mean, we both said that, like, the obvious reaction after all that, it just kept coming and coming, and asking for pictures of my med ball, and I'm like yelling at Bo, going, all she's got to do, she's a college graduate, medical school. I'm a fucking DV. Just look at the pharmacy records.
Yeah, but I knew that she wasn't. At least if I went there with proof, then if she decided she didn't want to see it, at least I had it. I tried to show it, and she was like, I'm not going to talk about this any further with you.
I knew that when I sent it to you. That's it. I'm headed to Mexico, and I'm coming back in the middle of the night to Texas in the desert. Thanks, guys. Listen, seriously, though, hey, you got a bad experience at the VA, or how they treat and pain meds and all that? You've been following the rules. What's it like for you? Want to hear from you. All right, thanks, guys.
Yep. So we know how.
In my head. You suck.
We know how DB6 and Google's week went. Recoil, are you still with us?
You went to sleep.
Recoil?
Do you need me back to be Recoil?
I don't know if he's still there or not.
He usually screws up his mic button.
I'm waiting.
He's probably like, fuck this shit.
Well, at least he's not snoring. I mean, that's a plus.
Well, because he's muted.
I was getting ready to say, let's go to Oink, and maybe Recoil
Well, he's
will
not
hear
muted.
us talking. No, Recoil mutes his actual mic like I do.
Oh, that's right.
Mm-hmm. So, Oink, how was your week?
It was a short week. Like I said, started off pretty shitty, kind of sick there. Lost my voice for a couple of days, and then I just said, screw it, I'm not going in on a Thursday night, and Friday I had off, so I've actually got my voice back in the last 2 days and can actually talk. So still, coughing up a lung. So that's why I kind of mute every once in a while. But other than that, not too bad.
Well, I don't know if you've seen this or not, but we've got a collector's doll that DB6 found earlier today. And I was going to ask you if you had ran into this person that this doll was made out of, made or copied from. Because, I mean, you all of a sudden have a sore throat, coughing.
Yes, ma'am. No,
No, so today DB6 went down and seen JJ PTSDog. And on his way back, he stopped at a couple of places, I guess, and he walks in and shows me this doll. And it is the pink shirt, the blonde hair, the face, the pants. Looks just like the transgender. I'll just say that because I don't know what they like to be called anymore. The rapper, apparently. It looks just like that transgender that yelled at the dude at GameStop. I mean, it identical, except for the beard that doesn't have the 5 o'clock shadow. Or tattoos, which I might have to draw that on. And it's a pop. It's a pop figure. You guys know what the pop figures are? It's like the Funko Pops and shit like that. It's one of those. It's from a television show, I think. It's Claire. I didn't even actually look at where it's from. I just was so hilariously laughing at its resemblance to "It's ma'am," and he actually has the stick. He put a sticker on it and wrote "It's ma'am." I about lost it. My mom lost it. She was laughing so hard. But yeah, I wanted to talk about that for a second. People are getting so up in arms about, you should identify me as the gender that I am. Well, first off, it's like when people started coming out as gay. We don't know if you're gay. We don't know if you're straight. Honestly, in reality, we don't give two shits. Just like now, with this whole, I'm a man, I'm a woman. Okay, first off, if you don't look like the gender that you actually identify as, people are probably going to mistake you for the other gender. Secondly, it's still relatively new. I mean, transgenderism is a new concept for 90% of the world. It really is. Cross-dressing is not new. Transgender is new. There's a difference, all right? And I'll tell you the difference. One, you have tits and a dick, or vice versa. And the other, you just wear the other fucking gender's clothes. That's it. That's the difference. And what really pisses me off about the guy, girl, whatever at GameStop is the kid behind the counter fucked up. Okay. But should you really get irate with someone who A, probably doesn't realize you're a man or woman, and B, it's still a new concept to the world. And he'd been there before, she'd been there before to GameStop, so that was probably before they started transitioning, right? So, probably. Right. And when this kid
doesn't even look like they've transitioned at all.
No,
I
they
guess
haven't.
their face doesn't really change when they transition, but
Actually, it does. But yeah, the only difference I've seen in their appearance now as opposed to right before that when they were a male is the hair and makeup. That's it. No fucking different. There's no breasts. That's it. I mean, their hair. It's straight blonde hair now, which they didn't have beforehand. And they are rapping now about, it's ma'am! Like, I don't even know the person's name, but I just don't understand how you can get irate over a new concept with someone who's not familiar with it. I mean, I get that you're probably offended. God forbid if you're offended, because we need to.
I know, right?
we need to cradle to all of you motherfuckers that are offended. But I don't understand how you can get mad at someone for not knowing. I mean, I've seen women that look like men and they weren't transgender and they weren't gay. They just look like men and vice versa. I've seen men that look like women We all have. We all fucking have.
Oh, man.
And we've made the mistake. And back in the day, people didn't care. They'd correct you. And if you kept on, they'd probably get pissed off. And rightfully so. But now...
Well, and isn't that what this kid did? He just continued?
No. No, that's the thing. If you watch the video, this transgender is all irate. And at first, he did say, he might have said sir or whatever, but the video shows after that, after this person is already irate. And they keep yelling at him, and he's trying to calm the transgender down and talk to this other person, which is a guy, a male. He identifies as a male. He is a male.
I forgot. I
right.
remember now.
And he said right. He says, "Excuse me, sir," and he's talking to the other customer. And
yeah, he's not even talking to the guy.
Yeah, it's
to the woman, I guess.
You done it again, you motherfucker! Like, no, calm your fake tits that aren't there yet down. All right. Like, get the sand out of your penile vagina and calm the fuck down. Right. And I mean, Jesus. It's if anything, you should call me a dude. Okay, that's like really confusing the poor kid, because most of the time a dude is a guy. We all know that,
yeah, right?
even though we all use it interchangeably, more times than not, you're saying dude to a guy. But I'm like, God, let's confuse the kid. Let's scare him into oblivion, and let's make a spectacle out of ourselves just for publicity. And that's what they done, because their rap career was horrible, as I understand it beforehand. They were seeking bad, and now it's blown up because they've made a rap song out of this.
I have a question, a serious, legit question.
You need to get to your microphone because it sounds like you're like in a fucking barrel.
I am. I'm like trying to plug this thing in. Where's the fucking? I'm gonna lose my question. Hold on. Where's... Oh, there's the plug thing. Is it in?
That's what
there we go. All right, serious question.
Yes.
And I'm not doing this for anybody that's about to get pissed because this applies to you or that's your lifestyle. Right. The only question I have, not the only one, but the only one I'm going to ask. All right, this is about lesbians with two females, and whether they're married or they become a couple.
Mm-hmm.
There's always one good-looking one and one that dresses like a dude. There's always the man and the woman, but they're both females. And sometimes, and I'm not even going to get into how, like, sometimes when I say thank you, sir, and they correct me, and it's actually ma'am, but, they're out in public. But they dress like a guy, they get the hair like the guy and all that, but they're lesbians. My question is, why do they do that? Is that part of the thing with being lesbian when you're with a woman, that one of them's got to be a man? Because I see it all the time. So that's my question. I know you can't answer it, Bo, because you're in that one town that doesn't have any.
Right. I'm right there with you, though. And it's not just women being lesbians, it's guys being gays. I've seen the same with guys being gays. They'll dress, I don't want to say feminine, but they don't dress manly, I guess is the word I'm searching for. And then you've got a guy. Right. And then you've got the other guy who dresses like a lumberjack, essentially. And it's like, okay, so you're gay, but you take on a role of a male and a female. Like, I don't care. I'm like 6. I don't give a shit. But why? It's the curiosity, I guess. I don't know. We're human beings. We're curious about everything. Why do you want to change your gender?
Because I always felt trapped inside my body. I'm now free.
Bullshit. Oh, fucking shit.
Thanks a lot, Bo. I was in the toilet pissing and I left my ass off with that voice and shook it the wrong way.
Oh, man.
Oh, you're welcome. If anybody has contact with Micro, this is off subject, get in contact with him and ask him to come on Barracks Talk. We've been wanting him to come on for millennia. Me, Recoil 6, Google, I think Oink.
Yeah, right?
We want, Yeah, we'd love to have him on as a guest. We could just sit here probably all fucking day and talk to the guy. We really love
contract with all the major news agencies.
right. Well, that's what I love about Micro. He says what his thoughts are, and he doesn't let, no matter what network he's on, persuade him any differently. I've yet to see him switch sides or cater to an interview or anything. And that, to me, is how all people should be. But, you know, I don't get paid the big bucks. I don't get paid at all. But
say you got paid.
all right. But yeah, speaking of getting paid, if you didn't know it, Nightcap Productions is our sponsor. They're the creators of What the Forecast as well as Backseat Navigator, which you can get on your iOS and Android devices. Go get those right now so show your support. What the Forecast is a hilarious weather app that is just comedic on a daily basis. It tells you things like, you know, Oink, give me a quote really quick.
Oh, yeah. Sure, put me on the spot, why don't you?
The one time I don't have the app open to read what's on the fucking app.
Well, here for in Alaska, for where I'm at, it says overcast nights are mainly caused by stratus clouds, and stratus clouds are bumlickers. The end.
When in doubt, don't be a douche. That's on the loading screen alone. Here in North Carolina, in Logap, thanks DB6, it's 33 degrees, and it says cold nights fucking suck. So you can get your weather forecast in a comedic fashion every single time you open What the Forecast. That's from Nightcap Productions. And which of you have used the Backseat Navigator really quick?
I've used it, like I said, when it first came out, just to travel around the neighborhood and take wrong directions just to listen what it was going to say.
Yeah, and if you ever wanted a backseat navigator, as in someone who tells you where the fuck to go, when the fuck to go, this is the app for you, except it's profane. It's like, go this fucking way, you dipshit, and stuff like that. And you have a profanity filter on there that goes all the way to 100% or nothing, so you don't have to worry if you got kids in the car. Just be sure you change it. That's Backseat Navigator as well as What the Forecast from Nightcap Productions on your iOS and Android devices. But we do need to go to break. We'll come back. We'll do junk that's in the news, and hopefully we still have DE6 Oink and Google with us. We better have Google because I'm not doing her junk in the news. She can do it herself. I'm Boner Wood. We'll be back on the other side of the break right after this.
Let's get it on.
We've got some red bait for you. The music.
Let's go!
You're listening to WTVR on DVRadio.net. By veterans, for veterans.
Simply made for you.
Nothing to watch on TV. That's why you're listening to Barracks Talk on DVRadio.net, WDVR.
This ain't reality TV!
It's all there, black and white, clear as crystal.
It was at this moment that he knew he fucked up.
Well, isn't that special?
Laddie, don't you think you should rephrase that?
Mama said that. My mom. Good day, sir!
Now class is dismissed, gentlemen.
You big dummy.
And now, it's time to find out what stupid junk is in the news.
Welcome back to the show. Yay! It's another week of insane news. So, alright, so what was it, last week? Last week we covered about the runner in Arkansas who killed the mountain lion with his hands and legs.
Just so everybody knows, Arkansas is Arkansas, okay? Because I know there's going to be some dumbass out there that's like, where's Arkansas at? So it's Arkansas. I want to set that straight. No, it's fine. It's fine. I don't care. But I know there's going to be that one motherfucker. Who the fuck is talking about Arkansas? I want to know where it's at. Think my sister lives there. I need to get a divorce.
Is that their 51st state?
Oh man. So alright, so last week we covered how the runner killed the mountain lion. And apparently since then, PETA has put out a statement basically saying that this is a tragedy and must have been scary for both the runner and the mountain lion.
Oh yeah, I'm sure that mountain lion was real fucking scared attacking that motherfucker and getting killed. Because that's how it happens.
I was like, are you fucking serious? Like, oh no.
That's like when they talked about swamp people, when they started showing swamp people on History Channel. Those alligators must be frightened when those guns come out. Yeah, they're getting ready to bite their hands off. They're really fucking scared.
You know, I was like, oh man.
They're munching on a fucking chicken. I don't think they really care about the goddamn gun.
So there you have it. There's your updated story. Meanwhile, butterfly conservationists ask court to stop border wall construction. Yep, the North American Butterfly Association is asking a federal court to halt the government's border wall construction in the Rio Grande Valley.
I'm sorry.
Interfering with its property rights.
I'm sorry. Because I can just see these people going, this fence will prohibit the butterflies to fly and migrate. They will not be able to fly through it. No shit, Sherlock. That's why the fucking top's there and there's fucking sides. They can go around and over. They have wings for a fucking reason.
Right? Oh my god. It's so ridiculous. The association operates the National Butterfly Center, which is just north of the Rio Grande in Texas and adjacent to one of the first new wall projects being constructed. These projects are already approved and funded as part of the 2018 budget, right? That was last fiscal year. The National Butterfly Center posted a photo last week that appeared to show one of the first excavation vehicles that will be used for wall construction. Oh no, they posted a photo of an excavation vehicle. Oh no. The nonprofit association argues that construction must be stopped to prevent the seizure and destruction of its property and to prevent adverse environmental impact. If your center is north of the wall and adjacent to where the wall should be built, then it's not your fucking property. Oh, man.
I've got to look at some of these, and like, all they're showing is the monarch butterfly. That's it. They're not showing any other butterfly except the monarch. Like, really? There's more butterfly than that here in the States.
I know, right?
And I'm pretty sure the monarch butterfly isn't going to die or go extinct anytime fucking soon from the reports that we had in the 90s when they were like the top most bred fucking butterfly in the entire fucking universe.
Right? The butterfly conservationists have been fighting the wall construction in court for more than a year. First filing suit in December 2017 against the Department of Homeland Security over the government's plans. So back then, the plans weren't even settled.
My question is, what fucking butterfly lives in the desert where this fucking border wall is going to be fucking built?
Well, that's where their center is located.
I don't give a shit where their center's located. Is there any butterflies that fucking actually habitat that fucking desert?
I don't think so, actually.
I'm sure there is on the coast near the border wall, but I'm pretty sure they don't live in the fucking dirt where the fucking thing's gonna...
Right.
Sorry, that pisses me off. I can't stand these conservationists.
Well, according to the website, they have more than 200 species of wild butterflies in a 100-acre habitat.
Probably inside a fucking biodome. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that wall is not going through that fucking biodome, you idiots.
I know. Well, if they're wild butterflies, then why are they in a habitat?
I was about to say, I don't understand how you can breed something wild. It's impossible. Once you breed it, it's fucking domesticated, you retards. I don't care if you breed cougars. They are domesticated once you have bred them. I don't care if they have been trained or not. They are domesticated.
Yeah.
That's what domestication is of an animal. You, a civilian, a person, fucking bred it.
Well, so there you have it. So we must save the butterflies and not build the wall.
Oh, this is like the Save the Whale campaign in the 80s and 90s. Oh, shit. I just thought of that. I can see motherfuckers walking around with antennae and fucking wings.
Save the butterfly.
Don't let the reading rainbow go to waste. Save the butterfly.
Oh, yeah.
You guys remember You guys remember the opening of Reading Rainbow? It was a fucking butterfly. Sorry. Go.
So this next story is from about a year ago, but it's kind of interesting because according to, and it's now starting to become kind of big in the news again because, 2020 is coming up and stuff. So a study has found that supporters of President Trump are more likely to be disgusted by body odors, including the smell of feet, sweat, and someone breaking wind. Now, here's what's funny. Remember how FBI agent Peter Strzok said he can smell Trump supporters?
When did he say that?
He said that on an interview, during a media interview.
Oh, I don't watch the media, so.
Yeah. He was like, I can smell Trump supporters from a mile away. And it's like, I don't think that he was being, saying that, they wear too much perfume. He was saying it as a dig at Trump supporters, which contradicts what this study shows. So there you have it.
What's the study?
The study basically has found that Trump supporters are more likely to be disgusted by body odors, including the smell of feet, sweat, and someone breaking wind.
Oh, saying that we're basically disgusting people.
No, we are more disgusted at disgusting people. The study has found
I'm so confused right
Trump
now.
supporters. Okay, so Peter Strzok said, "I can smell a Trump supporter from a mile away," basically saying that Trump supporters
So it got flipped on him with the study.
Right. The study shows that Trump supporters are more likely to be disgusted by disgusting smelling people.
Gotcha. So instead of us being the disgusting ones, it got flipped on his ass, and he's actually the disgusting one. Gotcha.
Exactly.
Yes, Trees. Hippies do stink 9 times out of 10.
Of course, they're trying to make us look bad because it says people who recoil at unpleasant body odors, aka Trump supporters, are more likely to support authoritarian leaders, while liberals are apparently less bothered by a pungy armpit.
Well, that's funny. I think we all have something bad to say about when we were in service about the people that were in charge of us. I don't care how much. I don't care how much you liked your commander or your first sergeant or your E6s and 7s and 8s. You have something bad at one point or another at how they treated you or said something. I mean, we hate authority. We fucking hate it because we dealt with it for far fucking too long.
Right? It's crazy. The researchers developed a scale that would allow 201 study participants. Yeah, because that's a whole lot to rate their levels of disgust when exposed to 6 body odors. They found a clear link between disliking bad smells and supportive authoritarian leaders, which people expressed by agreeing with statements such as the need for a mighty leader to trust the proper authorities and ignore noisy rabble-rousers.
Well, see, Google, you got to remember we had a government shutdown, so they probably didn't have the budget to do it. So they probably gave them potato chips on the sandwich.
It's just funny. It's one of those insane things.
And the
this
membrane.
one, I guess so. Those what were they called? Those oh man.
Can you describe them for us? Because we could name off about a million things right now. whatchamacallits. Those were good candy bars back in the day.
those like Dear Abby letters. Like you ask, it's like you have a question about love.
Yeah, you basically write to the author of a newspaper.
Right. So this one is in response to one of those. And the headline is, "Help, I'm in love with a Trump supporter." And this is actually coming from Seth J. Gillihan. He's got a PhD, which apparently means he's smart.
He's real smart when it comes to fucking reading and writing, but he ain't smart when it comes to fucking streets.
I know, right? He posted in January 5 tips to survive a politically star-crossed lovers. And I'm like, that's great. Like, what are you talking about? So tip number 1 is don't panic. Come on, just don't panic. Everybody disagrees on something. Check your assumptions. Yeah. I don't know. Everyone is assuming everything and anything these days. Then you've got practice living in complexity.
What?
Yeah. Right.
You have what?
Practice living in complexity. So it says, is there anyone you agree with 100% of the time? How boring if you do. Like living forever in a Facebook echo chamber of likes and thumbs ups. If you spend enough time with anyone, you'll find things to disagree with, even those on your favorite political or religious or paleo diet team. Why do we assume that a political disagreement is a deal breaker? Some of the nicest people I know who seem to genuinely work toward improving the lives of the least fortunate are Republicans who voted for Trump. They seem to recognize Trump's complexity even while they're unapologetically supportive of his presidency. So basically, don't just give up. Listen more than you talk. Sorry.
But we're unapologetic.
Unapologetically supportive.
Oh, I thought like we don't apologize type of thing. That's the way I heard it. But okay, continue.
Well, we don't apologize for our support.
You shouldn't apologize for your support. That's like
I know.
I support such and such. Like say Oink actually supported his parents that are in-laws. Yeah, the outlaws. And someone's like, dude, how can you be like that? Oh, I'm sorry. I shouldn't be that way. Like, that's, anyway,
I know, right? And then tip
this
number
guy has
4.
a PhD.
I know, right? Tip number 4, listen more than you talk. I mean, these are just like basic relationship advice things.
Oh, so it's common sense?
Right, it's got nothing to do with, like, who you voted for. Oh my god, I can't be with this person because they didn't vote for who I told them to.
Do you guys remember back when who you voted for was actually a secret?
Yeah, right?
What happened to those fucking days? Like, nobody back 10, 15 years ago would talk about one iota of who they voted for at the polls. Now, I voted for such and such because.
Yeah,
wow.
Right.
Like, that surprised me when people started doing that.
And then finally, tip number 5, recognize the workings of your own ego. And ego in this context means the part of our mind that sees differences as threats to existence and so can't tolerate another person's having thoughts that are different from our own.
That's not ego. That's just being a dick. I mean, me and Google and Six, like 9 times out of 10, can't agree on nothing, but we put up with each other all the fucking time. We can't agree on anything. Right? But we're not dicks about it. See, that's what ego and dick is, like, the differences. Ego would be, hey, Google, you know what? You need to stop. I can do the news better than you. Give me those articles. I'll read them. We'll get done in like 2 more minutes. All right. That's a fucking ego, right?
We'll be done in half a second. The news will be and we're done.
But you know what? We could redo those 5 things and tell them exactly what they should do. Stop being a dick. Don't give a shit about their fucking supporters' mantra for the presidency because everybody has a fucking voice. I'm not going to go any further because I want to get in trouble.
Think before you talk.
Sorry.
Shut the fuck up.
Hey.
And, there you have it. That's only 4, but anyway. All right, so I posted this article actually on my Facebook page, and a comment emerged saying, well, I'll read the article first. So, police warn parents of 48-hour challenge, which encourages kids to go missing. Which, obviously, we don't want that to do. And the whole point of the challenge is to go...
We don't want that to do is going to be the name of this podcast. We don't want that to do. And people are going to light up fucking grammar Nazi asses up in the comments. Oh my God, I got to write that down.
In my head, I finished the sentence correctly. The words just didn't quite come out.
Totally got that shit saved.
Oh, man. So basically, the challenge is to go missing for 48 hours, and so that your photo goes all over social media, everywhere and anywhere. And it awards points for every like, share, and social media mention while you're missing. I guess the one with the most points wins? I don't know. It doesn't really explain that part.
So it's the new way to become Insta-famous, as they call Instagram fame people. All right, retards, exactly. When you get lost in the desert on a horse with no name, don't come crying back to mommy and daddy.
Yep, exactly. So, child psychiatrists say it's never a good idea to assume your child knows better than to involve themselves in such an internet challenge. So please talk to your children and tell them not to do this.
Concerning your grammar there, Google, Tree said it's a Dutch thing.
Authorities say anyone caught participating in the 48-hour challenge could face charges. Now, when I posted this on my personal page, the comment emerged, is this actually true? Do you have any other sources other than unnamed police sources? And I'm like, I was about to comment with, now you want named sources? I mean, you never really gave a shit before.
Ooh, I know who that is. I've not even seen this post, and I know who that is.
I know. I'm like, oh my God. It's more of a, well, because apparently a few years ago, a similar thing came up. That was the 72-hour challenge. And that was, I guess, debunked on Snopes.com. But I don't really believe everything that I read on Snopes.com. So,
well,
I'd rather people...
That's the go-to source for, like, CNN and all now. Like, they go to Snopes. They're like, on Snopes, it says false because... Whoa.
I know.
Well, now we're using Wikipedia as our fucking fact checker. Great.
I know. So just be aware that this is a possibility. You know, if your child goes missing, still call the cops, but maybe you should tell your kids to not go missing or they'll be in trouble.
Tell them you'll beat that ass red and they can't do shit about it. That's what you tell them. That's what we need to go back to. I'll whoop that ass so fucking hard you'll be begging me to stop.
All right, moving right along. I got 2 left. This is kind of a quick one. This is in my neck of the woods. This happened in Peterborough, New Hampshire. A truck crashed on a major highway, and I know exactly where this is, and it looks the way that he's crashed. He went around the roundabout way too fast, and that's how we ended up in the ditch on the other side of the road. When police arrived on scene, they ran the guy's name and ran his plates and everything, and they discovered that the driver, Drew Davis, is from North Carolina, and he has an hold on, it gets better. He has an active warrant out in Nebraska. Nebraska.
Nebraska. God damn, it's got to be Dutch thing.
I know, right? I just can't read tonight. He has a warrant out in Nebraska for a vehicular homicide charge. Now, this is the problem with this.
How old's this guy, first off?
What was that?
How old is this guy, first off?
38.
Holy shit.
Yes. He was the driver of a tractor trailer involved in a June 2017 crash that resulted in the death of a 14-year-old girl. This is in Nebraska. Now, here's the problem with this. Again, Peterborough police did not arrest him because they learned Nebraska would extradite only from a neighboring state. New Hampshire is not a neighboring state of Nebraska. Therefore, Nebraska will not extradite him. And the only way that this guy is going to get arrested with this warrant out is if he goes back to Nebraska or any of the states right next door.
Oh, so he's going to be smart about it and never go to any of those states.
Exactly.
Wow. Nebraska,
I'm
you need
like-
to fix your fucking extradition laws.
Yep, our farm manager, he actually brought this one to my attention, and he said if I was like the chief of police in Peterborough or wherever, like anywhere really in the state,
Yep.
I would, out of my own pocket, purchase him a plane ticket back to Nebraska. I would make sure he gets on the flight and then call the Nebraska State Troopers.
Yeah, I was actually thinking the
he's
same
on their
thing.
way.
I was actually thinking the same thing. That, or I just drive the motherfucker down there myself.
Yeah, I'm like, this is ridiculous. So this guy has an active warrant for vehicular homicide, and he's not going to get picked up unless he's in a neighboring state or in the state of Nebraska.
I have a lot to say about our justice system, but not tonight. We need to bring it up next week.
I know, right? This is the final story of the night. PETA has not yet commented. A Kentucky fisherman reels in a 20-pound goldfish, and there is a photo with the article. Yeah, it's a giant fucking goldfish.
Right.
I'm like, this is crazy. Hunter Anderson is the lucky fisherman.
It's a beautiful fucking fish, though.
It is. It is.
And let me tell you, the orange on that sumbitch, you ain't gonna miss it. You ain't gonna miss that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Put that on your wall and tell me you're gonna miss it.
Yeah.
Shit, I can't get one to live past a week, let alone fucking 20 pounds. Come on.
We had one when we had a fish tank when I was little, and we had a goldfish. And that thing got up to like 8 inches long, and the power went out one day. And we weren't smart back then. And we didn't know that you could swirl the water every now and then and make oxygen in the water, and it died. But that sumbitch got up to like 6 or 8 inches long. That was like the oldest, biggest goldfish we ever had. I think we had him, what was it, 3 years, give or take? 3 or 4 years? Yeah, it was up there. So he probably could have got 20 fucking pounds.
Right. Well, your little fishbowl would not have lasted with the 20 pounds.
It wasn't a fishbowl.
Well, Hunter Anderson apparently knew that that the pond that him and his girlfriend were driving past had some really big koi fish and goldfish. And his girlfriend was like, well, I want to see. So they turned around and he went fishing.
That's one of those hold my beer moments.
Right?
I want to see.
I know. I'm like, man.
That is great.
Yep. That's all that I've got.
All right. Well, that's all the junk that's in the news. Thank you all for listening tonight. If, like Six said, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, or stories that's happened to you at the VA, please let us know in the comments section on either the Facebook post of this podcast and or email me at info@dvradio.net, or send them and put them directly on the post, visitors post on the Dysfunctional Veterans Facebook page so we can see them. We'll try to read some of them on air probably next week. It's according how quickly we can go through those, because trust me, it's not as easy as you'd think with some of us. dvfarm.org. Click the donate tab once you get in there. That's one way you can donate to the DV Farm. Smile.amazon.com. DV Farm, your charity of choice. a portion of your shopping cart goes directly to the DB Farm, and all of the proceeds goes directly to the DB Farm. I think I said that twice, didn't I? Anyway, again, that's smile.amazon.com. Make DB Farm your charity of choice. mydbstore.com. DVR thoughts, THOGHTS.com. Give me a little time. We're working on the back end to get some articles up. Sorry that we haven't had any out in the last week. But once we get that stuff fixed, we'll get it out there. I can't think of anything else as far as that. YouTube, Dysfunctional Veterans, DB Radio, all that good stuff. You guys all know the social media by now. If you're a new listener, listen to last week's podcast. Find out how you can follow us. Oink, any last words for tonight?
If you haven't tried it out yet, check out Ubora Coffee and the DV Radio Battlegrounds blend. It is awesome. Some of the freshest coffee you'll ever taste. I give it 2 thumbs up. So get over to Ubora Coffee and check those guys out and order yourself a bag of Battlegrounds.
Yes, a portion of that bag only comes directly to DV Radio. Thank you for that. Oink, Google.
Try not to end up in the news.
DV6, are you still with us?
No.
If you are, you're muted. I can't unmute you.
Oh man.
Let me see if I can get him on the radio really quick.
I'm sure he went to bed.
Are you there, DV6?
Yeah, check.
Whoa. I was asking if you had any last words for the show tonight.
Shit, you guys are still on. Hold on. I got this slight infection. It's a little raw. Wait, are you putting me on the radio? You better not be.
So for DV6, Oink, Google, Recoil. What was that?
This is bullshit.
For DV6, Google, Recoil, Oink, and Marquis Davis, who's not with us this week. I'm Boner Wood. You just heard Barracks Talk right here on dvradio.net. Until next week, Buttcycles. Bye-bye.
I want to let everybody know I was marked safe today from Nigerians in mega hats carrying nooses bleach today.
Wow. Anyway, we're going to end tonight's show.
Bye-bye.
Hit us up on Facebook and Twitter.
That's all, folks.
Goodbye, motherfucker!
DV Radio.
We are clear.
Woohoo! Right.
Yay! I'm reading the comments on Six's poll.
Woo! I'm reading the comments on my poll.